Today's video, in a nutshell, is honestly going to be pretty simple. I've been daily driving a ThinkPad T530 for a little over a week now, and I just kind of want to talk about my experience with that, my kind of thoughts on the whole thing, kind of what I've been doing, where my head's been at, and yeah, I'm just kind of really excited to talk about the device, talk about my setup, and kind of explore some of the pros and cons of using this kind of hardware in 2026. So, yeah, I guess without further ado, I can just kind of get into starting this whole thing. If you're familiar with the content here on the channel, then you've seen my PinePhone videos. You know that I'm not afraid of kind of anemic hardware. The PinePhones are effectively just really weak little Linux PCs in the format of a phone. There's a lot of fun to be had there. There's a lot of interesting use cases. And many of those use cases to me was a very small laptop, something much smaller than you can conventionally end up with, right? I mean, this is like a 6-inch display, little clamshell keyboard, little Bluetooth keyboard. These aren't like the most like actually practical, like ergonomic setups, but they're very fun nonetheless. And so the T530 really kind of flips this whole formula upside down. Rather than this really fun little gimmicky device, we have this kind of massive workstation on the go. Um, and I'm really kind of excited to dig into it and talk about that here today. This is my first ThinkPad, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I have kind of big dreams, big plans, and I mean, already it's just been a great experience. And that kind of takes us to this point here and now with the ThinkPad, the latest Linux device in this kind of big happy family that I'm collecting. And the T530, much like his smaller brothers, is running Arch, but this time we're just running like full normal x86 Arch. We're not running ARM. It's a traditional laptop format. It's 15 inches. And because of that, there is just kind of a whole new world of support that I'm not used to. And when I say that, I mean like just kind of core driver things, all the weird little quirks with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth that I was always running into the PinePhones. That doesn't exist here. This device is well documented, well known, well loved amongst the community, and I don't think that I need to explain the reputations that ThinkPads seem to have amongst Linux enthusiasts, especially now today. I feel like they're growing ever more popular. I mean, that's definitely how I ended up with one, I won't lie. I really enjoy this machine. The big motivation really was just kind of achieving that same level of kind of carefree, just something I can play around with and learn on without the limitations of the PinePhones. And that's where this came in. I implore you to go check out eBay and take a look at all the ThinkPads and all the various degrees of working order that they have on there. I also want to just say this now. If I had known how easy these things are to just pull apart and fix, I would have been much more open-minded about buying a more broken one for cheaper. Things like screens, keyboards, battery stuff. I mean, even things like actual like important components, these things, it's a couple screws away from a complete teardown. If you're feeling brave, I think it can be a fairly inexpensive adventure, and the payoff can be pretty good. So as for the actual setup on the device itself, like I said earlier, I'm running Arch, and I'm doing so on Wayland using Sway Window Manager with Waybar. I'm using Mako for notifications, and I'm using Rofi Wayland for my app launcher. There's really nothing else going on here. I didn't want to like really rice this machine really for two reasons, right? It's old, it's integrated graphics, it's not the kind of machine that I want to just kind of like fill with bloat. But also, the screen that comes on this thing is not great. I really won't lie. There's really not a lot of angles in which it looks good at to my eyes, and there's even fewer angles where it looks good on a camera. And so, again, achieving like high visual fidelity on this device was just not really like a crazy goal of mine. I kind of felt like part of its identity was this lower resolution display and some of the quirks that come along with it. So it's just a very simple setup. It's functional. I mean, I've got like hover effects and like alternate icons for when you click on stuff in the bar. And then I went for Rofi Wayland just because honestly, I liked the way it looked. I liked just how simple it was to get it working. I had Wofi going at first, which is basically the same idea as Rofi Wayland, except Wofi tries to do some of its own kind of like new or otherwise like Wayland things with Rofi. And then Rofi Wayland is literally just making Rofi work on Wayland. I think it just works through X Wayland. I'm not completely positive on that, but I've enjoyed it. I was able to just throw like a theme on it really quickly, and yeah, everything was kind of good from that point forward. So, like, actually, in practice, this device has been really fun, very serviceable. I don't want to come across like I'm just like LARPing with the ThinkPad now that I have Arch on it. I wanted to really put it through its paces. I typically carry my M1 MacBook Pro with me every day to class, and for the past week, I brought my ThinkPad instead. I won't lie, the MacBook was in my bag, and there was a day where I opted to use it instead. It was a day where I was going to be compiling things and running large code, and I just didn't necessarily want to be kind of the weak link in the team. But everything else, as far as like doing, workshops on the web browser and various light coding assignments and coding editors, things like that, it handles it like a champ. I mean, so it's a third gen i5, which is really surprising to me. It's dual core and it does okay. I mean, this device is not like mind-blowingly fast. It's not something that you're going to use and be like, wow, this thing is snappy. Outside of just the kind of surprise that you get when Linux runs really well on an older machine. But it's responsive, apps open quickly, Chrome doesn't bog down. I can watch YouTube and, kind of all the things that you'd expect. I think the 16 gigs of RAM is helping me a lot here. It came with 8, and I immediately threw a 16 gig kit in there. I was pretty sure that I was going to go ahead and upgrade the CPU as well very quickly, as you can upgrade to another third gen chip. So it comes with the dual core i5, but it supports the quad core i7s of the same Ivy Bridge generation, which is Gen 3. And so there's a couple different options, varying degrees of power that you can get, but I think a 35 watt third gen i7 is kind of the sweet spot here. You get the benefits of the quad core for things like, virtualization or like compiling stuff. You're not running the same kind of heat and power draw as you're looking at for the like a 45 watt or something like that on the more power hungry end of things. I just think, especially like with the way that I'm using this thing, I know that it is 14 years old at this point, and so I'm just not going to push it. I don't expect it to be a modern computer, and so I don't think I would go out of my way to make it run really hot just for like marginal improvements. But again, we'll see. I mean, it just does kind of everything I expected to do like a champ. I mean, so we had a online workshop for about 3 days. We were getting certified in this like data analytics platform, and everything just worked. I was running Chromium and very responsive. I was able to get through everything, access my email, access their kind of like web sandbox content. Everything was good. And yeah, when I had to do some coding or modify my configs, things like that, I opted for Z. I was reading about it, and it seems like it's going to be generally lighter than something like VS Code. And that was kind of the appeal here. I want to keep it as light at all times as I can. And Z was great. I got it from the AUR, and yeah, it was quick and easy. Works great. And I also got RStudio working, again, also from the AUR, and no issues there. It's responsive, it works, and it's slower than my MacBook when it's compiling R packages, but that's fine. That's to be expected. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of the gist of what I accomplished in the first week. I mean, it arrived, I installed Arch on it, I've started using it, I've now taken it to class, and I've started kind of formulating some plans for the future. Like we talked about already, 16 gigs was kind of the first step. I think the i7 or the screen upgrade may be the next one. However, I would also like to eventually consider going for the classic kind of 7-row keyboard from the prior generation ThinkPad. It's a pretty simple mod. You just have to kind of take your keyboard out, make some modifications to the older one. And I think there's something about the palm rests, swapping those out as well to make sure it fits properly. Haven't looked into it because I'm not doing it like anytime super soon. I'm also not sure if I want to. I like the backlight on this generation of keyboard. I would like to try and use the older keyboard to feel it, see if it's worth it before I kind of plan to do that. I think if I were going to go that route, I would do that at the same time that I do kind of my final like Hail Mary planned upgrade here, which is a W530 motherboard swap. It's the same size, same dimensions. It just has two more RAM slots, and they came with an upgraded CPU cooler to support the added NVIDIA graphics on the W530. Fits in the same chassis, you just get more RAM and potentially lower thermals when I do upgrade to an i7. So those things all kind of feel like they could, should, and would all happen around the same time. It's probably about 150 bucks worth of parts. So keeping it on the horizon, gonna keep thinking about it, gonna see how appealing it is as I continue to use the device. But I think you can expect the ThinkPad to kind of become a recurring character here on the channel, much like the PinePhones have. I think sooner or later, start just doing videos where we check in on the fleet. But alternatively, I'd like to start doing kind of specialized projects with them and start exploring some different use cases and just some different content for the channel. Because so far, you guys seem to be enjoying the Linux content. I enjoy making it, and it's been very cool to connect with you guys on that. I don't know. I guess with all that kind of said and done, that's most of what I have to say about my ThinkPad today. I don't want to drone on for too long. I mean, I haven't had it forever, and quite honestly, I haven't done that much with it. I've pretty much just sat here and told you about setting up my own computer, and I hope that you found that interesting. Hope that you maybe took something away from it or liked one of my ideas. And yeah, if you're new here and haven't seen a video here on the channel before, I highly encourage you to maybe check out some of my other content if you've made it this far. I can't guarantee you it's all going to be the same, but it's the same kind of vibe. We make games and we play with Linux around here. It's pretty simple. Thanks for taking some time out of your day to listen to me talk about my ThinkPad. I'm looking forward to kind of some future content on this thing in the future, updates as I go, and hope to see you guys soon.